just be me and you.
Might just be you, me, and Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's some scary shit. I don't mean me, you, and Matt. I mean, well, I don't know, actually.
Fuckers, it's Friday.
Can't spell shattered without shat or turd.
Like a gut punch to the abdomen.
Some of the funniest shit on the web.
I call it a rock Fred.
I like the cut of your jib, gentlemen.
These 5 are the only protection we have.
The best part of the show is the genuine Hasbro love.
Good night, folks.
And of course, Matt's weekly farts.
Breaking news. It's very outside of the box.
Hail day.
I love Friday. Bob's Bait and Tackle, now carrying Hasbro.
They truly are your favorite podcast.
Thoughts, prayers, likes, and shares. Shattered A to B.
Shattered Uncut. Is that you? Shattered Cast.
When are you going to bring Larry back?
My favorite Star Wars podcast.
Shattered Cast on
Complete fuckers. Podcast is intended for mature audiences only, and its sole purpose is to entertain. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it off now and
Shut the fuck up, Chip.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Shattered Uncut. Then we are at episode 230. Golly, we've been here for a while. Anyways, we have 3 people tonight. We are missing 2. Maybe 1. We got maybe 1. I don't know. He's having some back issues and, I don't know. He's had to chase some, ambulances for a long time and it hurts his back. So we have Greg from Mercy here tonight.
What's going on, people?
And we have the famous, most lovable guy on the internet. And he is part of the new ETR crew now. Bobby Skullface.
Literally none of those things. Oh, hey, Matt, everything you just said is a lie. Or no, everything you just said is wrong.
Yeah.
Got the amazing.
No. The first part was good. The first part was true. You are lovable. I have to give you that. And like I said, we might have Robert D in. I don't know, anything. And Justin, we miss you, and we have our our thoughts for it with you and everything. Anyways, I guess we'll go on to what'd you get? And Greg, what'd you get, man?
Last of the birthday Playboys, I got the Infinite Transformation Emperor of Destruction, 4th party, Megatron. Dude, I have to say this thing's fucking badass. Like, there's people that say KOs are better, and they're holding up this floppy ass fucking sideswipe they had together. And then there's like this fucking thing, and this thing really. I mean, I'm not gonna say I already bought the Takara, so I know what it's. But, like,
Robert D is on.
Hello.
Hey, buddy. Wait, real quick. Continue, Greg.
Yeah, continue, Greg.
Yeah, like the paint on this thing's fucking insane, and it's like gray. It's not the metallic, which works for me, and it's covered in this clear coat, so every piece of it. When you touch, how like die-cast is painted and it's got the clear cut if you're not buying it from X-Trans spots. Every piece of plastic, like every piece of this thing has that smooth, glossy feel to it.
Yeah.
And I have handled this motherfucker nonstop. I probably flipped it back and forth 9 times since I got it, and like there's not a scuff or a mark on it.
Just 9?
I haven't messed with it too much, but I did mess with it a little bit. You know what I like most about it? When you press the top of its head, it goes.
Nice.
Yeah, that shit is
good.
rock.
I like that good.
Oh yeah.
I love some.
But that's
when I push the I just light up. So maybe I got a faulty.
Dude, send it back. Send that shit back.
Yeah, I know. Let's play Megadeth and it ain't shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of like building my
Megadeth. Send him an email and say, I heard Bobby's came with a Megadeth record.
Wait, mine didn't come with that.
You gotta do some artwork if you want a Megadeth.
Oh, you want to do some artwork?
Is that it, Greg? Is that all you got?
I wasn't done gushing yet.
Oh, okay.
It's got improved ratchets. It's got ratchets in the hip outward. So if you want to stand them on one leg, the other leg's not going to be constantly falling down. I don't know. It's cool. It's just it's cool. It's a well made thing.
It's fine. It's fine.
Extra diecast. Everybody loves diecast, right?
Sure.
Do they?
It feels like if Fans Toys remade this design. It's kind of what it feels like. It's got that like feel about it.
You know what's interesting about knockoffs that do what it sounds like this one does? Normally, the biggest problem with a knockoff, other than the moral issue of like stealing, is you're diluting the value of the original work by knocking off something that's cheaper and it's crappily made. Isn't it interesting when you improve on it? If you cause consumer confusion, you're leading the consumer to believe that Takara actually put out a better product than they actually did. Isn't that weird? It's kind of wild.
This thing's not branded. I mean, there's nothing anywhere. Like they didn't copy like the.
That's wild.
Thing. Like there's nothing in the packaging and the instructions, anything to indicate that this is an official Takara product. Like those are the ones I really have issue with. But like I bought this one just to have something to fuck around with. So why would I if I didn't want to fuck around with my Takara too much, why would I buy another Takara to fuck around with? You know what I mean? So like that was kind of the reason that like I went with it. And then when I got it in hand, I was like, it's good. It's good. And I supported Takara. Takara didn't lose any money because, like I said, why would I buy another Takara to fuck around with? You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't really have any.
Feels like you're trying to make us feel, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're
for talking shit.
No, I'm just saying, like you're trying to make us feel like that we have to like accept your purchase or something, whatever. Like we're happy for you, man. We are.
Oh no, it's not you, but like there have been several people.
Oh, I thought you were just trying to get us to say, well,
Yeah.
Well, I happen to know that a case 12 of these is on the way to your house, so
stop.
Hey, Greg, can you take a picture of the box and send it to the chat?
Yeah, I have to get up and grab it, but I can.
Forget it. Don't bother.
I love box
pics.
pics.
I have to get up I didn't get anything else though, Matt. I'm kind of strapped right now, like not in the like.
Got a gun?
Get the strap.
Not in the like Dr. sense, but as
no, we understand. I understand.
A bunch of bills. Hold on, I'm not done. Did get one more thing.
Calm down there, Corky.
Calm down, Porky.
Yeah, that's what I say to my wife all the time. Calm down, Corky.
Oh, you said Corky. I thought you said Porky. Oh.
No, God. Come on.
I thought he called you Porky.
No, yeah, Corky. From the 80s?
It picked me up Iron Spider Pop from
nice.
From Target because she knew I was sad because I don't have the money to order the Figure Arts one right now.
Well, that was nice of her. That's awesome.
I gotta go fund me going, so if he wants to get me Figure Arts.
Well, I'll support you, GoFundMe. Hey, Bubby, what'd you get and what'd you check out?
So I got the X-Trans box Crack Rock, and I was sent the Unique Toys arms for Bruticus. I'm going to buy the Vortex because I broke it.
Did you do it on camera?
No.
On your review tomorrow?
I did shoot all the reviews
today.
I did shoot all the reviews today.
Who sent it to you?
Titan 1. And it's like his.
Shit back.
No, dude, it's like his copy. It's like his personal copy. So I'm gonna reimburse him.
That is the risk. If you send something to somebody.
No, dude, he's not. Look, he's not asking for it. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not like, yeah, you better replace
What's it
that.
to you, right? What is that? $100? That's not. What's that to you? Huh?
That's
a doodle on a napkin, right?
And he is
you wipe your ass and you fucking scan it, and that's $100, right?
He said a doodle on a napkin.
He's the better.
Sorry you broke it, dude. I really am. Sorry.
Yeah, me too. He's the better of the two, so fuck it. The blast off is so fucking ridiculous looking. Like, it's so absurd.
In every mode?
Yeah, pretty much in every mode.
That combined mode's got some fucking monkey arms, man.
I'll tell you what about that combined mode. I know now. Like, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Like, I don't
broke
want
all the
any
vortexes
fucking
in my
combiner that looks remotely close to it. Like, if they're not doing it the way Zeta's doing it or Toy World did it, I'm not interested. Period.
Wow. Any other company?
Like, it just doesn't have the gravitas. Like, it doesn't. Like, I put it next to the Constructor, and I was like, it's a fucking joke.
Right?
It's unacceptable.
Like is it cheap, or is it just like it looks garbage, like trash?
It just doesn't look like it doesn't look like anything to be afraid of. You know, like that Toy World Debbie looks like you better get out of his way. This Bruticus looks like, maybe he's fucking, maybe he'll see your point of view.
What's up, monkey arms?
You're like, hey, look, man, I don't.
2 dots in the back of his.
Yeah. It's it's solid. Like, it's a super solid combiner. Like, I got to give it to him. Like, it's solid. It's not rock solid, but it's
except for his left arm.
No. Well, the part that I broke. No, the part that I broke is minuscule. It's like the landing gear. But it's great. It's a great combiner. It's just not what I want.
Yeah, it just sounds like when you have parts forming combiners like Toy World, right? You don't have to sacrifice the aesthetic of the combined mode. You get to fill in those gaps. Otherwise, you're making sacrifices aesthetically.
I also think that, like, it's not so much the parts forming as it is just the size of the Toy World bots. Like, they're so obnoxiously big. You know, like, you can't display those Toy World bots with the regular bots. Like, it looks silly. But when you combine it, it gives you the look you want.
Nice, dude. That Zeta, I'm sorry. That's going to be a beast.
And I got the SH Figuarts Disgruntled Luke, which is really good.
Oh yeah,
trash.
Good.
Yeah.
Robert, welcome, and thank you for getting on the program. I like that. What'd you get this week?
Thank you. I hurt my back today. It was like some Bobby karma. Bobby pulled some voodoo shit on me for teasing him about hurting his back.
Oh yeah, that's what happened.
You know what's funny? I was thinking, the moment I hurt my back, I was actually, a moment before that, I was thinking about how silly it is that Bobby gained 7 pounds for eating all those bagels after he hurt his back. And then boom, some divine justice. And
karma, man. Karma's a bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, I fucking hurt my back. But also, I didn't get any toys in, I don't believe. But I did watch on Netflix. Bobby, you might want to check out the mail order system and get this disc sent to you. It's the Funko documentary.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it just came out, I think. But yeah, it's a whole documentary about the history of Funko and stuff and where it came from and where it's going. Pretty cool. Oh. It's cool because even though they collect pops, they started out with bobbleheads. So it's like all these original bobblehead collectors that really got into it. Then they like rebelled when they switched to vinyl figures. And then, but it's so huge. But just seeing these collectors discuss being collectors, they might as well be saying Transformers or this or that, And, so, but that's a good watch. It was entertaining for sure.
Did they show bobblehead collectors? I would love to see a bobblehead collection. I think that'd be pretty.
Well, the Funko originally did bobbleheads. They were called like Wacky Wobblers or something.
They are wacky.
That's what they were called. Is Greg here?
Yeah.
Is Greg on mute? Did Cringer hit the mute button again?
Is this thing on?
No, he probably logged off. He logged off. Probably.
No, he's not. He's on mute. Greg, you're on mute.
Damn it! I've been talking for 5 minutes and I couldn't get out.
Can you hear me, Cringer?
Stop.
Cringer, stop hitting mute. But
wait. What was that Michael Jackson shit? It was like, Tito, stop teasing.
We should drive Greg crazy one day.
That's funny. Funny. Sorry, I just sat back down. My bad.
Were you on mute, or were you listening, or no?
No, I got up to take that picture for you.
Oh, very nice. I was telling I was telling the fellas that I watched the Funko documentary on Netflix.
I don't know if we've seen it. I haven't seen that one yet.
Check it out. It's on Netflix.
Good.
Bobby will be watching it in about 5 to 7 business days.
I stream as well. I stream as well.
Hey, I bet you got a lot of discs laying around. So.
I got a lot of dick laying around, Mac.
Bobby, if the mail guy drops your disc in the water, it's not called streaming, dude.
That's funny. That was a good one.
Wait,
I like that one.
You mean like You mean like one of those 3 or whatever they were inch AOL floppy disk, right?
Oh god, who didn't have all those?
Look, I'm still part of the disc service because you can
get a tape deck delivered.
Because you can get the new shit. You can't always get the new shit through streaming. So I stream and I get 1 disc.
I still buy this. I buy Blu-rays all the time.
But yeah, so it's a good watch. Greg, I'm surprised you haven't seen it yet.
He'll get to it.
But yeah, they were originally Funko made wacky wobblers, and they were bobbleheads. And then when I don't know if he's the CEO or the creator or whatever, the owner, he retired as they were transitioning into just doing the vinyl pops, and it really exploded. So, but it's cool. It just shows you just collectors and collectors collecting. It's really focused on the collector side of it, and they might as well. But there are a lot of. It's just like they're hybrid collectors, so they're like crazy into the pop culture and the bobbleheads, and then the vinyl collectors, they're Star Wars fans and DC fans and this, that, the other, and they just happen to love pops. So it's pretty interesting hearing them talk.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Well, I have to say is never buy your girl a Carl Grimes pop because it'll never stop from there. It's like rabbits fucking.
Once you pop,
never go.
You can't stop.
Anyways, all right. I got MMC.
What did you
Drift.
get, Matthew?
Thank you. I got MMC Drift. Love it. It's a great figure. And I got Studio Series Optimus Prime. And that's all I got. All right. Well, I guess we will move on to we got movie and show news. And fellas, you're in for a treat. The Bumblebee trailer dropped today. And yes, that fucking Starscream looks so fucking sweet.
I think
you too. Me too, Gator. Me too.
I think this is the best the robots have ever looked.
Oh my god, that Starscream looks so fucking.
But it's also going to be bad.
Yeah, I think it is going to be bad. I wish part of me doesn't want it to be bad.
And a lot of it is going to be a retread of what we saw in the first one, except with a girl this time.
I think it's a reboot. I said it in my review. I think it's a reboot.
But if it's a reboot, then it fucking sucks already.
Why?
Because if it's a reboot and he still can't talk and his face still looks crazy, like I'm fucking.
Well, he may talk. He may be able to talk.
No, she says "Can you talk?"
Never gonna get you high.
Gonna let you down.
It's already trash to me if it's a reboot. If it's like the last, like the swan song of the Bayverse, and they finally tried to nail it right, then I'll be like, at least they went out with some class.
It is. There's an interview, and I think we touched on it when it came out.
You didn't touch me.
But they interviewed there was a TFW interview, or there was some interview that happened, and it was on TFW between the CEO of Hasbro and some party, and they said that they were asking about why. Well, they said that the Transformers 7 or whatever it was just kind of dropped off the Paramount release schedule. And he said that they already had Bumblebee in the pipe. It's coming out this year. So next year, instead of a movie, they're going to do a home entertainment experience, whatever that means. It could be a video game or anything, or a TV show or anything. And that with the new agreement, they can start to move away from the Michael Bay canon or run, whatever.
Isn't Michael Bay canon like an oxymoron?
So this,
I'd be fine with that.
Michael Bay is on as a producer, but not an executive producer. So that leads me to believe that maybe he is just there because they already contracted him for something, and he is serving as like
Spielberg did. Like he was a producer, but he wasn't really a producer.
Sure.
Maybe he's working on the craft table this time.
Yeah, maybe he's like serving salad sandwiches to Bumblebee in between takes. But
here's an exploded sandwich.
But I think they're going to start here. I think the impression I got was this movie is going to be like kind of the first step in a different direction.
That's good. I'm fine with that.
It seems like a hybrid.
Kind of in the pipe, so they couldn't change.
Why don't you smoke it in the pipe?
I wish they just went, it just seems scared, like they're dipping their toe in the water. And it's like, Bumblebee still looks like the Bayverse Bumblebee. Just change him. You already shortened him. He's already like 8 feet tall now instead of like 20 feet tall or whatever. Give him more of a G1 face. Let him talk. He was always a talky little chubby bitch. Let him talk.
Why is he going to be a chubby bitch?
I read something similar to what you just said in your yearbook, 9th grade.
I don't know. This is what Starscream should have looked like in the first place.
That face, that head.
Dude, that face is the fins on the side, man.
I think it's a step in the right direction. I mean, like at least like Bumblebee is in this trailer is clearly identifiable, and Starscream looks like he'll be the same. It's just like, and this is for all those people like that are like for years have been saying you can't make them look like such and such. It's like, no, you can. Nobody wanted them to be rectangle on top of rectangle, but they wanted them to look like the fucking character. And like that Starscream is pretty damn close. It's not 100%, and it's not as close as I would like it. And we haven't seen the full body pic, to be fair, but it's close enough where when you see that shit happen, you know who the fuck it is.
Yeah, Kit. I asked Kit. I was like, "Do you see the just randomly?" I was like, "Do you see there's a Transformers show up?" She's like, "No, I didn't." She's like, "Did you watch it?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "What do you think?" I was like, "Well, I saw parts move in a purposeful manner, and I could tell where they all went."
Yep, exactly.
It wasn't just random shapes fucking disappearing into each other.
I would have been. I know it sounds it's a nitpick, but I wish he had one tire on his back. That would have been a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah, that would
have been cool. Yeah,
and the two.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah. And did y'all see John Cena? My wife said that all she saw was a gun when he popped up. He didn't see that.
Yeah, there was this one scene that was really weird to me.
A Cena?
Are we doing the posted the play-by-play, as it were? Here, I got to get back in the game.
No, we're not doing play-by-play. We're just
And why doesn't he have horns? He has antenna,
Well, it's reminiscent of horns. Just stop nitpicking.
Yeah, Robert, quit being yourself.
Robert. Hold on, let me get the notes up. Hey,
Matt, his back looks like a crying robot.
I didn't.
Let me see, which one is it?
I didn't post the trailer. I thought it would be better for our discussion to post the scene by scene. The pick number, hold on. Let me get it up. Man, Starscream is good. Oh, I got it up now.
Matt, you missed your calling.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. Okay. Picture 060. Why are they focusing on that old man and that gun and like those few guys in the background? That just seems like a weird shot to put in a trailer.
No, I think it's military. I mean, I don't think it's it's S7 Burns.
Yeah, but like there's like the guy in the truck and then a bunch of empty space to the left and then a few soldiers in the back. Like I don't get why they put that in the trailer.
Because John Cena's a big pull, so they had to
Where's John
him
Cena?
a little bit.
I don't see him.
Where is he in this? I can't see
him.
You see that gun? He's holding the gun.
Hey, who did the Tony Ayo dance first? John Cena or Tony Ayo?
John Cena.
I think Tony did.
Is anyone? Are you speaking from a subject matter expert perspective, Robert, or just talking shit?
Not a subject expert.
Let's not do that again. Not for a whole show.
You just started.
Oh yeah, it pissed off Jisk, so we can't do anything to piss off Jisk.
No, but I mean, it's just one show's good for that joke, I think.
Can you look at Bobby? I don't know the answer to the question. I don't think any of us do. Can I kindly direct your attention to Exhibit 55?
55.
Yeah. Why is he bent over like that?
What the fuck is up with his face? Look at that nose.
I'm trying to find 55.
It's the number right after 54.
Yeah, no, but I was scrolling through. It was taking forever, so now I'm just scrolling through. Okay. Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, it's also with Starscream. Like, they're so close to like just giving him a proper face, but they can't help themselves to make it look fucking crazy. That is an issue.
Give him a nose.
That is still a complaint that I have. Like, just give him a fucking face. Like, what's the big deal? Give him a fucking face. Try it.
How many mouths does Starscream have? I can't even tell where his mouth is.
He's transforming, and it's not really a, Oh my God! I swear to God,
He has like the Red Skull's nose.
If Hollow and fucking the dog was on here, we'd just be like, "Oh my God, it's a fucking Star Wars!" Fucking Transformers, like that's a piece of shit.
I'm with Matt. Like, he is obviously transforming in this picture, and he does have a nose that looks like it's about to drop down. And you can see he has lips. And he has.
I think he looks really good.
Yeah, like I think this looks. It's like I said in the chat. Like, I think this is closer to G1. I would say it's closer to like the Chug stuff, like the early Chug stuff, like classics and stuff, where they took liberties.
Are you satisfied with him having 2 missiles on each forearm rather than null rays?
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm personally not satisfied with any of it, but I think it's a huge improvement.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to shit on it because it's fucking. It's a step in the right direction. I'm not going to shit on it just to shit on it.
Would you like the visual, Greg? The visual.
Robert, you're just shitting on it just to be funny.
No, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not fucking perfect. I mean, it's not perfect. There's still a lot of issues. Yeah, but I mean, it's.
What do you mean? Yeah, I'm not just shitting on it. I'm talking about the issues there are. So should we be thankful that it's a step in a G1 direction, and therefore just be really kind and forgiving?
No. No, I think.
I'm not asking that.
I think that like. I think we're not necessarily thankful, but I think we should be optimistic about where it can go. Like, if they do decide to reboot it, I think that this is a sign that gives us hope to be optimistic of where it could possibly go.
Star Wars hope or Superman hope?
Think if they took actual vehicles and then they all of a sudden transformed into super tune accurate like G1 designs, and then people are just gonna be like, that looks fucking stupid. How'd that happen?
No, I don't think I don't think they need to be super accurate, but like I think that I think you could give them a face. Like, I'd be okay with all the liberties they took with the chest, with the front kind of fenders and stuff over the top of the chest. Like, I'm okay with all of that. It's the only thing that really bothers me about this Bumblebee still is the face. Like, it still doesn't look like Bumblebee to me. It looks like a yellow
gave him
robot.
a different face, kind of with no.
It kind of looks like Iron Giant in yellow.
Well, that's actually kind of a vibe that like a lot of people are getting from this trailer. But you have to remember, there's a lot of money invested in this Bumblebee, and there's not so much invested in Starscream, so you can give him a face, but like they still need to keep it relatable to their target audience.
See, and I think a face makes it more relatable. I think a face makes it more relatable.
Yeah, but like this run of movies wasn't targeted at us.
No, but I think that they would connect more with the general audience if he had a face and could speak. Like,
wait, I have an idea.
Like, even in this picture here, like, he literally has like a clamp over his fucking mouth, like in a frowny face.
What if he had a face, and then at the end of the movie, Optimus shows up, and rips it off, and then he just picks up a piece of garbage and puts it on his face. Cover up his bits.
And the face automorphs it into part of his being.
I just hope this picture of Starscream, I am praying to God this is not him transforming and that this is just what he looks like.
I wish you would give credit where credit's due. I mean, come on. I mean, can you be happy for? I mean, like he said, they're trying to go in the right direction. I know it's not going to make everybody happy, but at least they're trying. I mean, God, if Starscream would have shown up as the fucking Dorito, everybody would have threw a fit. But
Yeah,
they changed it up.
I'm
talking to Robert.
Okay.
I'm talking to Robert because he's just being a dick.
Well, Matt, you know what they say. You can only get good Transformers in New York City.
That is true in Brooklyn. Exactly. The only thing you get in Brooklyn is good Transformers, Chinese food, pizza. Everything in Brooklyn is good. Bagels, whatever.
Overdone steaks.
Bagels.
Oh, you want to say beagles? You said beagles, so whatever. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I can't wait for Christmas. So
you don't sound too excited.
I am. I'm really excited. So they have a Bumblebee poster also, I guess, showed up.
It's a clean back. Just gonna say. Hopefully the toy will be the same.
Every adventure has a beginning. Bumblebee. Christmas. All right, cool. Neato. All right, well, let's move on to everybody's favorite thing, third-party news.
Actually, I'm going to bounce out of third-party news. I have to go take care of something. I'll be right back.
Hey, real quick.
His hemorrhoids are flaring.
Can everybody go back to the Bumblebee note real quick?
Let's do. Which one? The trailer or the poster?
Pictures.
Okay.
Of the trailer. Go to picture 81.
Okay. 81. That's far down there. Okay.
Oh yeah. I was going to actually...
He looks like a Jeep.
There's two... There's going to be... He's going to be in two different time periods.
Yeah, supposedly there's flashbacks.
I got you.
And he has horns there.
There's a theory I read today on Facebook that quickly got shut down by fucking know-it-all fucking
me
hats. That wasn't Robert this time. That Starscream, because they were looking at stills of Starscream's jet, and that's a Vietnam or earlier era jet. And then he's in that Jeep mode, and they think that it's going to be Bumblebee, kind of the backstory they set up in the last night, where he's been working kind of covertly with a certain segment of the government. It's flashback. So maybe that scene with Starscream might be a flashback to an earlier time where Starscream's pursuing him, and then that maybe he does something, he refuses to do something that the government wants him to do, and that's why he's on the run, which is why he's apprehensive of the human that he meets, where he's just like,
I mean, it would be cool to see Starscream, F-15, F-14, whatever it is,
15.
It would be cool to see that. Well,
if he's pursuing him, then he will probably adopt that mode in 1986. Which is
86, I think is when it was.
I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm just gonna say.
Barricade's at this too, I think they said also.
And then there's a 1977 car we saw to begin with. I don't know if that's supposed to be Barricade or another character. I suspect that might be their attempt to bring Knockout from Prime into it.
Prime is in this too. I read that he's going to be in this too. It might be. Is he thinking?
Yeah, it's either going to be it's going to be
flashback
at the end, or it's going to be like a communication or something. But yeah, definitely going to.
And I don't think they need to make it all make sense because none of the films are really connected to one another with any real strong connective tissue. But I think it's going to be tricky to actually try to tie this into the rest of it and make
Run DMC tricky or just
no, because that's more so, Matt. That's more so tricky to write a rhyme that's right on time. This is.
I'm listening.
Yeah. I just think, given the events that happened in the first movie, it's going to be a challenge to make it make sense. But I mean, they've proven that they don't need. It doesn't need to make sense.
Hey, Bobby. One of my favorite video games ever was SXS Tricky. Have you ever played that?
Oh, I did on PlayStation 2.
Well, it was for the Nintendo at the time, but I think it was the GameCube. I think so. But it's SXS Tricky, and it was a snowboarding game. And as you did like jumps and stuff and tricks, you'd have a Tricky meter, and when it filled up, they started blasting Tricky. It was nice.
I love that game. That was a good game. It's on PS2.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I have a hope for this because we don't know who's doing Starscream's voice, and we don't know who might be doing the other Decepticon's voice. But Martin Short is doing voice work for this movie, and so is Pamela Adlon, who is Bobby Hill in King of the Hill. And my hope is that Martin Short's going to be Starscream and Pamela is going to be Knockout, if that ends up being a Knockout type character.
Right.
You'd be like, you don't know me? I don't know you. That's my purse.
I hope Bumblebee is voiced by the Big Brother and Everybody Loves Raymond.
You're right.
All right, Matt, you can move on to third-party news. I'm sorry. I just want.
Oh, well, thank you. No, it's okay.
Before you move on, I also, if I can pull a Greg here, I did something else.
What'd you do?
I went out with Pinkerton and Hurricane BX.
Oh, we saw. Believe me, we saw the videos.
We went to Korean barbecue and karaoke. We had a really good time. We had pork jowls. I never had jowls before.
It's a little weird that you guys got your own room. That's a little weird.
You always get your own room.
Yeah, no, I think that's
Korean.
I think that's a little strange.
You're talking about the karaoke where you go to a bar and there's a stage.
Yeah, like if you're not doing it in front of a crowd, like
what's the point of doing
what's the point? You're not really like there's no risk.
You might as well just sing in the shower.
Have you ever done it in a room?
It's Asian culture, though. That's the thing. It's different over there.
Have I ever done it? I mean, yeah, I sang in the shower this morning, probably. Like.
Well, you're shaving your head or shaving your balls?
Who doesn't, man?
I don't think you should sing when you're shaving your balls.
No, I did. I was.
What'd you sing? What'd you sing this morning, Bubby?
I think "Over Now" by Post Malone.
I thought it might be like something from Cher or something.
I think it was
Believe in Life After Love or something.
I think Blink 182. Yes, man.
Blink 182. What?
All right, third party news.
MMC Hellion, man.
Oh, actually, is that what you sing when you shave your
Hellion?
Sing that one song.
Cliff Jumper.
Cliff Jumper. Like, I guess this is growing up, and you like shaving your fucking ball hair.
We've already seen this.
No, actually, I don't know anything about Blink 182 other than.
Yeah, when you shave your balls.
What'd you say?
Is it All the Small Things? Hey, we got this scale.
Dude, this fucking Cliff Jumper looks fucking terrible.
When Bobby shaves his balls, he plays Hans Zimmer.
Every time I see this, man, that waist is fucking judging you.
Dude, the
literally looking at you.
Fucking jumping motion looks fucking ridiculous.
That waist. Is that a crunch? Is that a crunch?
Who greenlit this? Look at him walking. It all looks bad.
You know how he can do all those poses though?
So long.
He's not weighed down by a 90-pound.
Hey, that bag is fun.
No.
Hey, my one looks fun.
My criticisms have nothing to do with X-Transbots. Believe you me.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying they both look kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he's
it's not the perfect Cliff Jumper, but the X-Transbot looks a lot better looking at it.
Yeah,
that's fine. The back, you have to find some room. You have to get, two Detox.
Well, you know what it is. You know what it ultimately is like with the X-Transbot ones is like at least it looks good from one angle.
I don't think it will. I think we're gonna find an answer to this, but I think you see that backpack from the front.
We've seen pictures of it from the front, and you really don't.
It's fine.
Like, you can see how stupid this looks from the front.
Yeah,
like, it looks stupid from the front, from 3/4 view, 1/4 view, side view. It looks bad.
It's growing on me. It really is growing on me.
Shocker.
I just don't know if I have the money to hire a surveying team to
find. I know. How long is that fucking waist to the fucking feet?
Yeah, no, I look, I'm being straight up. Like, one of the main concerns that X-Transbots want for me is I'm going to have to measure the space on my shelf and see if he will fit on the shelf. And I'm not like making a joke. Like, I don't know.
He said it.
I don't know if his backpack will fit
Dude, just hang him off of the side and he can dangle.
Nope.
Maybe his backpack will fit under Prowl's titties.
Like, isn't it funny how this thing kind of becomes like third party discussions? Like they tend to, and it's all we're all doing it, but like it tends to become like a political thing. It's like it's like man, red. I don't like that Trump is doing this. Like, what would you like it if Hillary did this? It's like, well, no, wait a minute.
Oh, Me Tooism.
Robert, I feel like you're just.
Oh, whataboutism? I mean, not Me Too.
Okay, yes.
Me Tooism about the females.
That's Me Tooism.
Yeah, I was like, Robert, I think you're just saying things tonight.
Yeah, no, he's just flat.
I meant whataboutism.
Me Tooism.
But like,
at least you're acknowledging that we all kind of tend to do it.
Yeah.
Because for a while you were saying that was the Greg for Mercy thing, and
it still is the Greg for Mercy.
Well, we're all definitely taking a part in it tonight. You know, I think it's easy to crack jokes on that backpack, but like,
I wasn't comparing the two, or like I wasn't using that to demerit this one. I was just saying, like, I was making the joke. But he can do that because he doesn't have that tonight.
I feel like it's more. The problem might be his arms more. Like if his arms weren't so little and short, I kind of like the shorter lower body.
Robert, you know
it's like he's like a stumpy little guy, but the arms make it weird. I don't know.
You know where the problems aren't? From his knees down. Like that's the only part of this that looks good.
You know what will make this look better? Or not this, but the
garbage can.
If a knockoff company would come along and make a backpack or like a plate, and you just clip it over the back so you don't see how it's all folded up, and then I think it looks great.
Here we go. KO Fanatic #1, Ground Zero.
Oh no, but everybody was like bitching about the Megatron and how bad his back looked, and you had an extra half an inch. Like, oh, that looks great.
I don't mind the head sculpt. It's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible. But it's not 100% either. Like
no,
yeah,
it's not.
You know what I mean?
But
like
I can look past that for the head sculpt.
It's still I can look past the head sculpt if everything else was right, but because everything else is not right, it's like, oh yeah, and guess what? While you're at it, go ahead and fix this shit too.
Yeah, but what about your head sculpt, Bobby?
What about it?
Here we go with the wordisms. Is that a word?
Wordisms?
Come on, man. I just did the shoulders. He just looks like he went and he got, he worked on his shoulders, but he didn't work on his waist and legs.
He didn't work on his shoulders. He's got little arms.
Yeah, he didn't work on his shoulders at all. He just like worked on his wings.
Maybe his underpits or his under.
All this guy does is pull downs.
Oh yeah, just pull downs all day long.
Yeah, he worked on his armpits. That's what he did.
Yeah, this fucking looks ridiculous.
That waist just kills me, dude. He's just staring
it's
right
bad.
at me.
It looks bad. It looks bad from the knees up.
But it does have a crunch. That crunch,
It better.
It better. Yeah.
What if there's no waist swivel? Has anybody seen the waist swivel?
If it doesn't have, no, it has to. If it doesn't have a waist swivel, it does. It's in the first. It's in the first picture. Yeah, like this whole thing is a fucking waist swivel.
I think.
Seriously. They should be goddamn ashamed of themselves.
I think the repaint's already been shipping out.
Good.
I heard some people are getting their shipping notice. So
wonderful.
I didn't get it.
Good for them, man. All right, enough of Hellion.
But I got this guy coming. I'm getting this dude.
We got DX9 Ransack. So is this going to be Legends or is it going to be a MP scale?
Yes, Legends.
Oh, I meant to change the title on this. Sorry. I said Ransack, but I was thinking of a different one. But
is it Ransack or Barrage? Barrage was the Beetle, right? I think you and Justin were talking about this, weren't you?
Yeah, I could see it being Barrage if he had like a separate piece to make the horn. But then Justin mentioned, I don't know, Venom.
Yeah,
possibly Venom too. Like
it does look like Venom without the wings.
Yeah, he's missing the wings.
How about some dudes posting real photos of insects?
Yeah, see that, Frankie.
Dude, what if DX9 when they posted what is this? Like they really weren't sure. They were like, "Look, we found this in the back of the factory. Apparently, we got the plans for it. But can anybody tell us what this could be? Because we're ready to make them."
Yeah,
I don't think this is Legends. If you look at the joints,
I don't know.
Look at the insect leg joints. They don't look like Legends joints.
I don't know.
And that DX9 symbol is pretty big, though.
I think this is Legends.
That's 1 inch. Are those 1 inch markers or are those centimeters? Those are centimeters, aren't they?
No, they're millimeters.
Those might be centimeters.
I'm excited. That's cool. I mean, I would love some MP scale deluxe Insecticons, but I'll be happy with Legends too. So,
if those are centimeters, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 centimeters.
So that would be 10
Legends.
megameters.
8 centimeters wide. How many inches is 8 centimeters?
35.
Let me ask Google.
5 for 20,000.
Let me ask Siri.
Please don't ask Siri. Come on now. I know Robert excited I am.
I'll try.
Bobby's out of the.
How many inches is 8 centimeters?
The answer is 3.15 inches.
That's not Legends.
That's not Masterpiece.
Masterpiece either.
3 inches, did you say?
Yes.
3 inches wide in
That's
bug
your
mode.
painter.
The shell
Painter.
itself.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's not Masterpiece. 3
That's your painter.
inches is not
That's
Masterpiece.
actually pretty
3
wide.
inches wide?
Yeah.
Long.
From shoulder to shoulder.
That's you're looking at. I think that's the hips.
I'm looking at
It's all in the hips, though.
his shell, right at the width of his shell at the base of the bug neck, not the legs. The width of the shell. That's 3 inches. That's very wide.
It looks like a squid face on top of there.
1, 2, 3 inches is very wide for a bug.
Robert, you see that squid face with the eyes and the.
Yeah,
That's
But-
Pain's toy bombshell width if it's 3 inches.
very wide, Bubby.
It's talking about. I don't know. I haven't looked at the picture, but if I'm
So if they were MP scale, would y'all be in? Bobby, would you be in for some MP?
I'd have to see a lot more pictures.
Hey, just real quick, Robert, can you check the fucking chat? Because I got up and walked away for 10 minutes.
I mean, Pain, don't yell at a
He
disabled
took
man.
offense to that. God
Hey,
damn.
you haven't.
Yeah, that doesn't look at all like MP packaging.
hasn't seen the pictures,
I'm
and
sorry.
it kind of is making me concerned.
Somebody said, "Does it have better QC than Gabriel?"
Probably.
Yeah, right. Greg does
People have
not
some
look
bad-
at all like Takara packaging.
Well, the back kind of does, but yeah, but enough differences where you wouldn't.
Shout out to Esteban Romeo. That's a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Romo. He's a good dude.
What was the QC issue with Gabriel?
It had tons. I can't remember all of them. But I had it here. Joe B brought it, and he went to like get it out to like set it up, and he was he was like, I can't. The legs won't move.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously? It won't move at all?
Yeah, I can't. He's, I'm gonna send it back.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, it had a lot of issues.
That's fucked up, man.
Was it joint issues or was it paint issues? Because when I got my,
I think joint issues.
The legs won't move. It'd probably be joint. Just putting that out there.
Well, when I got,
I don't think paint would have anything to do with the legs moving. Just
It
to
can.
be honest.
It can. If there's paint jammed up.
Yeah, that's true. I apologize.
I think they were joint issues.
It's the teeth. I saw someone on Facebook.
So let me say what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to shut up. When I got my Fans Toys RC, I couldn't get one of the legs to move at all. And then when I took it apart, it was paint all gunked up in that motherfucker.
Yeah, samesies. But I didn't take it apart. I just said, fuck it.
There was a guy on Facebook who took apart a Gabriel thigh hip because he couldn't move the leg, and apparently it was just the depth of the teeth in the ratchet joint.
I'm sorry.
No,
Somebody said that there was an issue with moisture in the boxes of
that was the paint.
Moisture.
From the way something like in the facility, like I don't know.
Yeah, they left the windows open when it rained or something, and it got all over the fucking figures.
Hey, when it
That's what I read.
Am I right?
That's right.
All right. Well, we are moving on. Thank y'all.
No, moving on.
We're moving on to Hasbro news.
No, we're not.
It's my show. Fuck you. We have a possible Takara Encore Beast Machines Primal, maybe in the working.
Yeah, are you proud of this news now, Matt?
Hell yeah, Air Attack Optimus Primal, one of my favorite figures. Not really, though.
Is it really? I was going to say, is it really?
No, I might have it. You know, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Oh, this is Bobby's getting this. I don't know. He's gonna love this shit.
I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting anywhere near this.
If I bring it to you, you will.
Are buried in the past.
God, fucking Beast
Looks like
Machines.
Apocalypse.
She sucked.
All right, moving on to this. Titan Returns Deluxe Repugnus. I'm excited about this. I'm cool. We get all the monster bots in Deluxe figures, so I'm excited about this one. So that's good. I wonder what mold they're gonna redo it from. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, talking to myself. All right, let's go on to statue news.
Yeah, see what I'm saying.
It'd be cool if, have somebody talk. Justin was here. He would talk to me about it.
We talked. Is there more information on this one?
No.
Pop culture.
Talk about Matt, and you yourself blew through the.
Well, I mean, nobody's saying anything. Bubby's not interested. Robert's not interested. You're not interested. It's cool.
I'm interested.
I'm not.
Okay.
When did I say I wasn't interested?
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm saying it right now.
I'm interested in Bobby.
I'm interested in Bubby too. But hey, let's move on to statues. Didn't we look at this last one?
Yeah, it's got a price now, $160.
Oh, that's not bad.
We looked at it last week, but there's a full gallery versus one.
Oh, okay. You're right. I apologize. That is. Oh, okay. It's got the. It looks kind of plain.
Yeah, man.
To be honest,
I just don't think G1 is the thing for statues.
I kind of like it. I don't know.
60 is not bad. I do like the Autobot.
It's like, why not just buy the MP?
That's true. That is true. That's around the same price. I do like the stand, though. I do like the little Autobot stand. That's pretty neat.
Get a shout out to Crashbox.
Crashbox it up.
If I was into statues, I would probably buy this.
I don't know, it's kind of cool. If I had the room, I would get it. I just don't have the room.
If they made a Starscream, I might get that one.
What's the size on this? 5 inches tall?
10.
So it's MP10 size.
Yeah.
That's kind of stupid.
Right. Like this is like the statue pocket where I live. This is the type of statues I get. Like this size almost, and this price and everything. But this just.
But no, this one.
Yeah, like if it was IDW Prime, I probably would get it because it would look fucking sick, But it's like the G1 Prime is like it's cool in the MP form and it transforms and everything. Like there's something to that, but this it almost like in this format it almost makes you realize how bad it almost makes you realize how bad it looks.
I like the shading of it, the kind of cartoon, kind of video game-ish thing. I like that on it. But it does look kind of plainish.
So the axe arm raises up in the air. It's just you disconnect at the shoulder, I guess.
I hate the black lines everywhere. I hate it.
Wait, Matt.
Yes, sir.
What did you just say again?
I said your hair looks nice.
No. What'd you say? You said that you didn't like the what?
The plain. It looks kind of plain.
No, but like with the cartoonishness, you thought it was kind of plain. Like that actually has a shit ton of detail to it. I don't know.
Okay, then I'm wrong. I apologize.
Your opinion is wrong.
A shit. I'm not sure I'd say a shit ton of detail.
Covered in paint.
Yeah, it has a lot of paint, but like sculpted detail.
No,
oh, okay.
That like the painted. Like that's what I thought.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about sculpted detail.
I mean, look, you can't get if you want something to walk off your screen, you can't do better than this, right?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
There's a knockoff.
Stop with the knockoff.
Here we
go. And like
that,
like I mean, we haven't seen that new MP10, like MP10 Plus or whatever it is that's coming. Like we haven't seen that. Like that could blow this out of the water. Not obviously in paint, but in aesthetic it could.
And it transforms.
Are you getting it, Bobby?
The new MP?
MP10? I'm in it. I'm getting it.
Is that what you're asking me, Robert?
Yes.
Yeah, possibly. It depends. Like it's gotta fix the problems that I have with MP10, and if it does, I'll get it.
Are you gonna sell your MP10 though?
No, because Optimus is like Optimus is a great character. I can put him in truck mode and display him somewhere in truck mode and be,
That's true. That's true.
So
would you put MP10 in monkey mode?
Yes. Yes.
I hope so. I would hope so.
Put him on his
do you
knees.
think there's a chance you might break your MP10 Plus?
There's always a chance, Robert.
There's always a chance for something like that.
Oh, guess what starts tomorrow? I think Tokyo Toy Show. So,
does it? Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm weird on the dates, like the time changes and like what's reported.
That's not the only thing you're weird on, though. Oh, that got awkward. I apologize. I'm sorry. I tried to make a joke. It wasn't funny. It was funny in my head.
Go sit in the corner.
Whatever.
That was not funny, Matthew.
Robert,
when's the last time you broke something? It's been a while, hasn't it?
I farted a little while ago.
You used to break a lot of your shit too.
I just don't tell you anymore.
I don't know why you're getting Bobby shit. You used to break a lot of shit too, man.
Yeah, but then I started sending it to Bobby, so I got someone else first dibs at breaking my shit.
Okay. All right. Well, that is the news, folks. That was really interesting. I guess Bubby likes reading questions. Bubby, you want to start reading questions?
I can. You're welcome to read them as well, Matt.
I can't read. You know that.
I can. You're welcome to read them if you want as well. I can.
All right. Dear SCU crew, just for shits and giggles, I think the fans would love to find out what your favorite chick flicks are. Every man has them, and I imagine the SCU guys are no exception. I'm talking about those embarrassing, guilty pleasures that you actively try to hide. What says the crew? What chick flick pulls on your heartstrings or makes you laugh more than you'd care to admit? MP Collector. I don't know if I have a chick flick that I like, but it depends. Like I like a lot of movies that people consider chick flicks, but I don't really necessarily consider them to be such. Like I like White Oleander and shit, and Girl Interrupted, and I like all that kind of shit. But I like my guilty my guilty pleasure chick. That's definitely not a chick flick, but my guilty pleasure chick flick is like a TV show, and I liked Sex in the City.
Sex in the City.
Yeah, I liked it. I did. I'm sorry.
It's only one reason you like Sex in the City is because you and your wife would sit there and drink mimosas, and then you'd get busy.
I never drank a mimosa while watching Sex in the City, but I did. My wife obviously.
You're Samantha.
Dude, I love in the Borat movie Bruno, when he's like, "We are so much like Sex in the City girls right now. Like, which one would you be? I would be this one. You'd be Samantha." Like, I'm not like any of them. I'm like a man in the such and such. And he's like, "That's such a Samantha thing to say." But my wife watched it, and I watched it with her. And I got invested. Like I got invested in the characters and the kind of drama of it all.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
You go ahead.
Is Terminator 2 a chick flick?
Chick flick.
I think so. It's on the chick flick list.
I don't know what's a chick flick and what's not. Like, I really don't.
I mean, the thing that Matthew McConaughey's in, I really like. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like that. All that fucking Matthew McConaughey shit, where he's like the Southern guy in the big city, and he doesn't quite know his way around, but he's got a heart of gold. Like all that shit is definitely a chick flick.
And I'll watch it.
Oh, I have one. I gotta think of what it's called though. It's the one where Harvey Two-Face opens the restaurant with Demi, whatever her name is.
Demi
Moore.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look it up.
G.I. Jane.
Demi Glaze.
About last night?
No, Robert, you go, and then I'll go after you. I have
16 Candles? Is that stuff like that? Is that considered a chick flick?
I think so. I think 16 Candles was like an 80s chick flick.
Oh, I love all that stuff like that. I don't think Weird Science would be a chick
No, that's
flick.
not.
Weird Science.
That's definitely not.
Weird Science.
On our honeymoon, we were into the Dominican Republic, and there's a nice hotel, but they had a very poor choice of DVDs in their library. But they had Notting Hill, and I'd never seen it before. And we watched it, and it was a nice chick flick. It was a nice rom-com. So yes, I would say Notting Hill. I think my wife probably hates that movie now since we saw it so many times. But it was a good one. I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy asking her to love him.
I like a lot of chick flicks. I mean, I like movies, so, whatever. Anybody else? Nobody?
True Romance counts, Bobby?
Not at all.
No, that's not a chick flick at all.
What's the guy Two-Face? What's his name? I can't think of it right now.
Harvey Dent.
Shut up. Bobby, do you remember?
Shut up.
What was the question? I couldn't hear it.
The guy that played Harvey Dent in the Nolan trilogy.
No, I don't remember. I don't know his name.
Really?
I think of his first name. Hold on. You guys.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, you corral these two. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Samuel L. Jackson.
You corral your balls.
Actually, I was thinking that was actually a good movie. Shut the fuck up, man. That was actually a really good movie. It was about
last night.
It was about a chef and a girlfriend, and hold on a second. Let me find it.
Is it a Jennifer Lopez movie?
How many times we got fucking hold on?
I'm trying. What was that? What was that Kevin Smith movie that everybody shitted on? That was kind of a chick flick.
Amy.
Huh?
Amy.
Everybody Greg, you're like cutting out while you're talking.
Chasing Amy.
No. It's a chick flick, like a straight up chick flick.
Mallrats.
Well, Chasing Amy was about lesbians, so I assume that was the one you're talking about.
No, but Chasing Amy is like it's not a chick flick. Like there's
about the lady with no arms and no legs. Is that Chasing?
I'll look it up.
Dude,
Jersey Girl.
Was that Ben Affleck?
Oh.
Yeah, like I didn't mind that. Everybody shitted on it, but I thought it was fine.
Bridesmaids. That's a fucking hilarious movie.
That's not a chick flick though. It's like a comedy. I mean, it's like a chick flick comedy. I feel like that's a different pocket.
I like the new Ghostbusters.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
What about Beaches or Steel Magnolias?
Beaches is definitely a chick flick. Steel Magnolias, probably a chick flick.
Thelma and Louise?
Chick flick.
Did you like it?
I don't mind it. It's fine.
I liked it.
I remember that was I just had a conversation with Joe about that movie because I remember that was the first movie that Brad Pitt was in, and when I saw him at that time, I was like, "Holy fuck, this dude would be a great Gambit." And like I stuck around to the credits to like get his name to like start having conversations. I was like, "You got to see this movie, Thelma and Louise. Like this guy in there, he could fucking play Gambit."
He's got a washboard abs. Oh my god, what a good Gambit!
He was so good. He was awesome in Troy.
I mean, he was awesome in a lot of shit.
Wait, so when you saw him in Vampire, Interview with the Vampire, and he was like in
Injury to the Vampire?
When he was in New Orleans.
Injury to the Vampire. He like went out in the sun for a bit.
He was in Injury to the Vampire, and he's in New Orleans. Were you like, oh my god, one more step closer to Gambit?
No, I think like by that point I was like, man, this dude is not doing that type of movie.
I like some Drew Barrymore kind of chick flicks, like Never Been Kissed, stuff, and 13.
That sounds like chick flicks.
Just saying, I like it. 13 going on 30. I like some Jennifer Garner.
I mean, I'll tell you, there's a chick flick. I mean, I don't know if it's. I got that. Like, there's a chick flick that I love. The shout out to Joe KW. I love Joy Luck Club. Like, I watched it. And I was like, it's fucking great.
Nice.
So
ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong at all.
You're one of those white guys.
I was mistaken. It wasn't. It was Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The movie's called No Reservations.
Never heard of it.
Sounds like my kind of girl.
It's about a
13 in the Stink.
Relax.
13 in the Stink.
What is wrong with you people?
Nothing at all.
13 in the Stink.
It's because you gotta think about it. That's what's funny. Like you gotta like carry the one on that one.
Not 2 in the Stink. 13 in the Stink. All right. But yeah, I like some chick flicks. Now, what was
I think they're gonna ban you from chick flicks now.
Let's move on. You got another question?
All right. Hey guys, knowing that some, if not most, of you are into MP for the G1 cast and not really into Beast Wars, etc., I don't think that's accurate. But do you have any post G1 character that if they made it, you would pick it up even as a standalone piece? I know Star Saber kind of counts, but I'm thinking about any characters that are just cool enough, interesting enough, or obscure enough to get the treatment. Cheers, team Kiwi Paul. For me, definitely the DJD, Drift, you know, like a MP style G1 aesthetic Drift, or the DJD, or any other IDW characters that were kind of original characters. I'd be in for that. Anybody else?
I agree with you that I thought when I read this question, I was like, I think most people on the podcast are actually into sports.
Yeah, it's just me and Justin that aren't.
Yeah. Fuck.
And I can't wait till they tackle more Beast Wars. I know, I'm sorry to say it, Bobby, but man, like just
Don't be sorry.
season one Terracons.
Be right back. I have to the restroom.
Like
I mean,
Pterosaur, fucking,
dude, you don't need to be sorry to say. Like,
I know. Why are you being sorry?
I want you to get what you want, Robert.
I'm sorry for you, Bubba.
Why?
We are all happy for everybody.
Yeah, I don't care.
What if like Pterosaur had cloth wings? Would you
No, but here's the thing though. If every time I see a pterosaur, I know it's one more hot toy I can afford to pre-order.
That's true. Have you changed your mind yet about Han Solo and Chewie?
No, I can't. The Chewie looks ridiculous in the Han. Like, if the Han was like spot on perfect, then I might be able to forgive the Chewie. But the Chewie is so fucked up, and the Han is not perfect. So no, it's a pass on both.
Do you think that there's a lot of hype, negative hype, before the movie came out, affected box office draw, and then there's talk now after the fact, like Disney has pie in its face about the poor sales?
Would you say a lot of
for
figures
Solo?
I mean, I don't think it has. First of all, they weren't expecting high numbers for Solo. But even still, like, Solo didn't meet their projections. I don't think it has anything to do with negative buzz circulating about the movie. I don't think the movie ever had a buzz, positive or negative. But I think the main reason why it didn't do well, it came out on Memorial Day weekend on a Thursday, still broke the Thursday of Memorial Day weekend record of all time. And it did 83 million, I think, the first weekend, which is fucking trash. But it broke the Thursday night record. Then, on top of that, there was some NBA shit going on that night as well. And the fucking Deadpool had just hit the week before. And Infinity War was 2 weeks before that. Like, there was just a lot of competition. And even with Infinity War and Deadpool is one of the most popular, like, pop culture characters in America right now. And Infinity War is one of the biggest films of all time. And greatest of all time, I agree, Matt. And even with that, Solo still knocked Deadpool out of the number one spot and has held the number one spot for 2 weeks. I think it's just bad timing.
So do you think they're going to learn from it and keep producing the same amount of movies they intend to?
Yes.
And just fix when they release them?
I think that Solo was a test run to see if they could do 2 movies a year. And
but the thing is, it's like when they release them.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Such a snot rag. Just go on.
I think if Solo would have
Not you. He wasn't talking to you, Bobby. Finish what you were saying.
I think if Solo would have came out in December and had a year apart, like it would have done fine. I think that they were testing the waters to put it so close to Last Jedi to say, like, if this movie does well, then we can do 2 Star Wars movies a year. Because I think the goal is to have Star Wars operating at a Marvel or DC level where they're putting out 2 to 3 films a year. But I think, like, I'm excited about all of it. They could put out 3 Star Wars films a year and I'd be like, fucking, I won the lottery. Do you know what I mean? But I think that there is, for the general, like, Star Wars fan, like, not the fanatic, but just the general fan and the casual moviegoer, I think the absence does make the heart grow fonder. Like, I think that year apart makes people more excited for Star Wars. I think that Star Wars, for some reason, is a different beast. Like, you need to build up the hype around it.
So do you think this will affect that decision and they're only going to do 1 a year now?
100%.
So is that this? Do you think that is based on simply the day of a month that they chose, and they chose poorly? Had they done it maybe in June,
I think it would have done better in June.
So there's an entire effect on your experience as a viewer because of a few weeks.
No, it's no. It's not the few weeks. It's just that the fact that it was Memorial Day weekend, the fact that there was 2 other huge movies right before it, That's really what it's more so about, not about May. It could have came out like
not about May.
The last weekend of May.
It's not about May. It's about you.
It could
right, but I mean, like, so what, do you think they consider that and like, let's give it another shot, or they're like, fuck it, nope, not gonna bother now?
I would like to be optimistic and say that they'll consider that, but I don't think they will. Especially when this movie doubled its budget, it went from $250 million movie to a $500 million movie, and it's not going to make that back.
So
not in ticket sales.
Do you think they're going to also? Will this also affect? I mean, do you think they're only associating this with the timing and stuff, or do you think they're like, you know what, these fringe, stories aren't selling? We can't.
No, because I don't think they have enough data to say that, because Rogue One did exceptionally well.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be May.
And I think the fact that also like I don't know how much the general audience is interested in seeing a Solo movie. I am. But I think most people kind of feel like, I got enough Solo. I get it. I know his story. I'm fine. I don't need any more, But for me, it was like, Christmas. But conceptually, it didn't pay out that way for
Christmas in May.
That was actually pretty funny.
Thank you.
But I don't think I think if episode 9 would have came out, it would have made its money back, no problem.
Oh, fuck yeah.
When's 9 coming?
Next December. Not this December, but next December.
So what's supposed to be coming out this year?
Nothing.
So what the fuck? Why'd they have it in May?
Because they were testing it, because Last Jedi just came out in December. So, like, if Last Jedi did well in December, and then Solo did well in May, and then they released 9 next December, then they have the data to say, look, we can run 2 inside of a year and still be successful.
Yeah, it's almost like fate got in the way and said, nope, and now we will never know.
So, is there any G1 cast members?
Imagine a Yoda backstory,
character?
Dude. There's so much they could do. I mean, I would even be okay if they did like a Rogue One sequel. In a manner of speaking.
Is it a big funeral?
It's just ash blowing in the wind for like 3 hours. No. Look. Look. What I mean is the Bothan spies that are spoken about in Return of the Jedi that get the plans to the second Death Star. Like if they did a movie just on the Bothan spies, like when Mon Mothma's like, many Bothan spies died us to bring us this information. Like I would be okay if they did that movie and called it something else, like made some name, like, Red
Rogue 2.
Yeah, well, not Rogue 2, but something, you know what I mean? Like,
you get it, Bobby? You get it? You want me to explain it to you?
Could you explain it to me? I don't understand.
Because it's a sequel.
To what?
Rogue One.
Oh, and 1 is like Rogue. Yeah. Oh, and I get it. I get it.
Now they're even deader.
But yeah, that would interest me, I think that, I don't know. Even the Boba Fett one, I'm interested in the Obi-Wan one, but I kind of feel like they shouldn't do these standalone movies on single characters that we already know. They should kind of give us like little slices of life of the universe, like
Jabba.
You guys are fucking nerds.
The start of the Jedi Order.
Yeah. Yeah, give us a Snoke movie, like on how that happened. That's one I'd be okay with. A Darth Maul prequel, I'd be okay with that. But like for the main cast that are in, I don't know if that's the right way to go.
Some things are better left unseen.
Yeah, I think for general audiences that is true.
Thank you, Kiwi Paul, for your question. To Star Wars instead of answering your question.
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything they want to say for?
Jeebus.
Because I think most people on the show, it's just Justin and I really. I think most people on the show are interested in non G1 stuff. Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. This community we have created is really, really an awesome thing. My question for you guys is, what was your day-to-day life before all of this started? Were you in the hobby and did not collect, or did you just collect and keep it to yourself? Once this community we have created got started, how did it affect you? Your day-to-day lives. Thanks for the great show. Have a good night. TF. That's a great question.
Wait, hold on. Before you answer that.
Hold on. Cringer, stop.
Lisa! Where's my goddamn Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's what I've always done that.
Lisa, get the baby.
Yeah, I've done that though. Actually,
your turn, Bobby.
Did you guys get to Star Wars spin-off movies from?
Yeah, that question. Yes.
Oh man, that's just shouldn't have got up and gone.
Classic.
It was a Robert D. diversion.
Oh, okay.
What?
Bobby, you should go as the Death Star for,
Someone go
for
first.
Halloween.
Who
Just
wants to go
paint your head gray.
Your back should go as the Death Star of 2.
That's funny. Fuck your back.
So, like, you know, I think for me, like, I started kind of getting into all this because my wife and I would end up, like, once we had our first kid, and, like, you can't, like, do shit. You know, like, you can go out, but you got to deal with the crying and the diapers and the fucking, like, it's a whole to-do. So
Maybe you do. My children behave perfectly outside.
your children don't behave perfectly inside. So we would spend, like, I felt like hours almost a day, like, sitting in the same room looking at each other going, what do you want to do? You know, and I don't know, what do you want to do? I don't know, what do you want to do? I don't know. Do you want to watch a movie? I don't know. Do you want to get something to eat? I don't know. I don't know. What do you want to do though? I don't know. What do you know, like, it was obnoxious. So at a certain point I was just like, look, I'm going to do shit. Like, I'm going to do shit on my own. If you like to do it with me, then that's cool, but I'm going to do shit on my own. And then I started like drawing more seriously. And then that's how I got my foot into all of it. And then it just kind of,
You mean the box art business?
And that's how it kind of went from there for me. And I mean, life has drastically changed for me. You know, like
drastically,
triassically. It's
Jurassically 5 ways.
Like, now it's like I'm trying to cram, 11,000 things into one day, whereas before I was trying to figure out one thing to do. You know, like, before, when I got a text message, I was happy as fuck because at least it would occupy me for 5 minutes. And now when I get a text message, I'm like, ugh, I'll get to it as soon as I can.
Oh, I know. Believe me.
You know, so, like, I'm pretty quick with you, Matt.
Yeah. You look snippy with me too.
So yeah, I mean, it's been huge. I mean, it's a huge difference for me. It's had a huge impact and effect on me, and it's and most of it for the better. Some of it for the worse, but most of it for the better. Anybody else?
Well, before with Facebook and all that stuff, I was on TFW a lot. You know, we got a little Arkansas meetups sometimes, and I was, I didn't know a lot of people. I mean, I went to a couple of BotCons and stuff, but I mainly went to for the Transformers and stuff. But now I go for to see everybody. It's community first and toys next. But I didn't hide it or anything. I didn't know a lot of people. I just, like I said, I kept to myself on TFW, and then Facebook came in, and then the Cool Table Network and all that stuff. They opened up a lot of opportunities and stuff. So that was me. Robert?
What?
Sorry.
Greg, go ahead.
I didn't use the internet or computers from probably 2000 to 2010. So, like, I didn't even know there was, like, a bunch of you fucking nerds all congregated in various places. When I first got involved online, like, it did change. Like, I spent a lot of time doing it, but as time went on, I spent less and less. So, it kind of changed my life, and then it kind of got me on the wrong path. And then I realized that, hey, the sun's out, and so I've started, like, going out and, like, socializing more. But yeah, that's how it changed my life.
Neato. Robert?
No.
Neato.
I used to, like, watch, but when I got back into collecting, there was a real wealth of reviews to watch of everything, the old stuff, the new stuff. So it was really a fun way to spend my time when I had nothing else to do, like when I was going to bed or whatever. And then that eventually dried up, and I listened to podcasts and stuff. Everything was fine. I would work into either exercising while I was exercising or just like, at nighttime time. But what really sucks up a lot of personal time is fucking Facebook, and fuck, man, some of these chats. It's like, if you don't, mute notifications, like some people spend their entire day in these chats, and it's really a waste of time. It's nice to talk to your friends, but after a certain amount of time, you're like, fuck, I got shit to do. Yeah. I can't believe how much attention I'm putting to this chat or that chat. I'm like, I can't. You realize it becomes a negative thing because you're not paying attention to your grown up shit. Yeah. So I've had to find a balance, and just check in when I have time. Check in when I have time, and when I don't have time, focus on big boy stuff.
It was it was funny, like the chat shit and all that, like how much and active we used to be in it, and I started sliding out of it, all the chats and shit, because I just didn't have the time to be an active participant. And it sucks for me because my schedule's a little different than most people. So a lot of times when I do have time to kind of socialize in the chat, most people don't. So then, like around like 6 p.m. when everybody's getting home from work and cooking dinner or whatever, then they want to get all active, and that's like the time where I don't have time to be in the chat because I'm either on a podcast or I'm getting food together for the kids, or I'm spending a little time with my wife or whatever. And so like it's just like I'm out of sync with most people in terms of schedule.
Out of tub, you mean?
Oh, it's a little treat when we get to have Bubby in our little.
There's one person that can summon Bubby to our chat. Only one. And that's Greg.
No, that's not true. Like Greg is the only person that does. That's the difference. Like
no,
Greg
doesn't have to. Greg doesn't have to fucking even type your name. He'll just be like, "Hey, did you see this?" And boop, your icon picks up. Oh, love it. And then me and Matt will be like, "Really? What did you like about it?" Then silence.
I know.
No responses.
Well, so I keep my notifications on. So like I never mute our chat. So like I'll scroll through the notification screen and kind of read it and stay up to date that way. But like, if I see Robert posted a picture, I'm like, well, this could be be
funny.
like a banana peel he found on the street. Like I don't have time to waste with that shit. But like,
hey, the best banana peel ever.
But like I know if I see, hey Bobby from Greg sent a photo to the G3 chat, hey Bobby, and then I'm like, okay, like this is probably either news or funny or some shit, like it's. And if you were like, and when Robert says, hey Bob, Robert's like the boy that cried wolf because there's like countless times where he's like sent like, hey Bobby, I need you to respond immediately, and I'll be like, what's up? And then like I can see that he saw it, and then he'll just never reply.
I am the boy that cried wolf. You're right. Actually, that should be on my tombstone.
Oh, you know who else is a pleasure to have in there? Justin, once in a while. He kind of
yeah, but Justin also, I like this. Justin does. See, I try not to because I'm not super active in there either. So I try to do my due diligence and catch up on the chat. Justin will come in there like the emperor, and he'll be like, I've seen there's been discussion regarding the Ultra Magnus. Bring me up to date with everything you've just spent the last 2 hours communicating with one another. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, come on. And then I'm sitting there on the other end, not in the chat, and got to read through the same fucking notifications of people sending their thoughts again.
He muted that chat.
Yes.
And basically doesn't mute our business chat.
Correct.
And he only wants us to talk about serious shit in that chat because we're wasting his time.
Yeah, How can we talk to you, Justin?
To be fair, I'm in that boat too. Like, I only want serious shit to go down in the business chat.
Oh, we've gotten better in that.
Well, yeah, we have.
The thing about Justin in the one chat is he'll be like Bobby said, he'll come in like the Emperor. But then if you try to talk to him about Ultra Magnus, Darth Vader just runs around and starts force choking everything. It's one of those risks that like you have to kind of. It's a calculated risk.
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for.
You got to watch your words.
Yeah. And I also like now the chat is pretty cool, but I mean, like I feel like the chat is the main thing that used to cause us issues because we would take shit out of context, take shit out of meaning, and people would get upset. And
yeah,
like,
you was mean. You used to be mean.
No, it wasn't that I was mean. I'm direct.
Yeah, you're mean.
I actually had a conversation with my wife. My wife is like having some not issues at work. She's happy at work, but she needs assistance. And she was like, "Well, what should I?" You know, we were sat down. We like try to problem solve the situation, and we've pretty much found the answer to it. And she was like, "Well, what should I tell them?" And I was like, "You tell them point blank. I'm having trouble managing all of this work. I need assistance. The assistance I require is this specific position that would handle these specific responsibilities." I was like, do not word that shit like you're writing a fucking novel because people lose interest and you don't communicate effectively. Like I thought women were supposed to be the effective communicators, but the problem,
they just talk a lot. That doesn't mean they're effective.
The problem on my side is I'd be like, I need a mopping assistant that will handle the bucket cleaning, and the bucket producing and with the liquid ready to go in it. And I need them to also handle administrative work, such as getting the paper form signed after we have done the mopping job, etc. That's all I need, period. And I'll send it, and then people are like, "What a dick," you know. But I'm like, I'm not. I'm just telling you. I'm just trying to be super direct, so there's no room for you to misinterpret.
I think you're a dick.
Okay, as I was listening to you guys burn Robert at the stake, I wanted to give some input on last week's show. As far as Deathsaurus, or however the fuck you spell it, I think Planet X is making it to piggyback off the Dinobot wave. They had possibly even retooling it from one of them, and maybe for the sake or stake, sorry, I'll stop, that no one else made the character up until that time. Also, while I was listening, I happened to come across some photos of Doritos steak chips on Twitter. Coincidence? I don't know. But here, I think they were heavily influenced on the world-famous medium-rare New York steak. Also, I just turned 19, and I just want to say how trash of a year this is to be like it's sort of the bitch year between 18 and 20. Anyways, do you guys have any stories from when you were 19? Rudy. Shout out to Rudy. I'm trying to think.
Rudy.
When I was 19, I had moved in with my mom, so that was fucking trash. My dad moved to West Virginia. That was trash. I'd started community college and was working on a loading dock, and that was okay.
Trash.
No, that was okay. All of that was okay. So I was like, that was like my first real job. I was making real money, and I was spending it on stupid shit. So I mean, I was getting fucked up. I was getting, I was with my wife at the time. She was my girlfriend, so it was kind of
getting high.
It was kind of much like it is today in a lot of ways, except no kids, and I was living in my mom's house.
Sound like Eminem, kind of.
At 19?
Yeah, your palms are sweaty.
Mom spaghetti?
Exactly.
Spaghetti.
19. I was in the military. I was in Germany, living the life, banging a lot of chicks, and
sucking a lot of dicks.
And dicks. And no, that's Bobby. He likes some chicks with dicks.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's why I was out in the field a lot that year. So
I'm just saying. I mean, I'll look.
No, we're not judging you.
No, if I look,
Bobby's like, you attracted to one tranny, and all of a sudden,
look, if I make the bed, I'll sleep in it. I earned it. I'll take that walk.
So that's what I was doing at 19. I was serving our country.
I mean, that's big shit. I mean, it's like, who was in Germany at 19? You know,
Germans.
Yeah, Germans.
Robert,
what were you doing, Robert or Greg, at 19? Law school.
No, I wasn't in law school. I was in college. I enjoyed those years. It would suck not being able to drink yet. But yeah, I enjoyed the college experience. I was very much into academics and stuff, and life was easier because you didn't have to worry about, bills. You just had to worry about having money to have fun. It's so much different,
What?
Yeah.
What were you doing in Germany at the time? Like, what was your purpose there?
He was a skinhead.
He was a cook.
He was doing research.
Cooking food for all the troops.
What was the purpose of the troops in Germany at the time?
Make America sick again.
Because we have bases over there? I don't.
Over. Yeah, but why did they send so many people over there at the time? Do you know?
No, there's not a lot of people. It was either that or Korea. And I was like, I'll take Germany.
She gives me gas.
Yeah. I think Germany is a 2-year tour, and Korea was a I think it was a 1 year back then. I don't know what they do now. But they just sent me to Germany. I was in Schweinfurt, Germany. And that's where I served my 2-year thing. I came back over here.
Did you say Schweinfurt?
Schwein. It means pigs in a river. Schweinfurt.
Did you guys do any, was there combat or, what did you do by your time?
Well, Matt was the cook, so everyone was battling diarrhea every night.
There's bases over there. We just ran everyday life in the military. I would cook and do all that stuff and go to the fix our trucks or anything, or fix equipment that needed to be fixed or anything. I was a soldier at first. We trained. We went to the field. I was in the field for 8 months that year, and we would just we would get ready. We would just train. That's what we did. That's what a soldier does. You train.
Yeah, sent a lot of people to bases during that time period in the 80s and the 90s, because there were more people signing up for the military than there were job force. So they were sending people around.
Yeah.
They had
Germany has quite a couple bases.
And then you went to 2 force, so they were just sending people.
I think Korea has South Korea has 2 big bases, I think. They may have more now, I don't know. But I think they had 2 back then. Or 1 or 2, but maybe. What were you doing, Greg, at 19? Do you remember?
I was.
Do you remember?
What was I doing? I was working 3 jobs.
Nice.
I was a cashier at a grocery store.
Okay.
During the day, the afternoons I would flip pizzas, and then at night I would do stock at the other grocery store. And that's pretty much what I did. And I stacked paper, as the kids are saying. Back.
Was you making it rain?
No, I wasn't making it rain. I was trying to save for my future. Well, I was trying to save for a trip, which ended up being a shorter trip.
A Euro trip?
No, I just took off. I quit all my jobs and went to Asheville for a while. Asheville, North Carolina. And just lived. I lived the bohemian lifestyle for a year. I didn't have a place to live, just kind of floated around, spent money, got drunk,
nice.
Got with people, smoked weed, met different people, just lived in the mountains for a while, and then I came back and buckled down.
Nice.
How old were you when you met Kit?
I was, funny story, I was 20.
Huh.
I met Kit the last month of my 19th year. Because when I came back to Raleigh, I picked up a job at a local restaurant that she used to come into every day for lunch, and it's a long story, but yeah, right about that.
That's awesome. I wonder what Justin was doing at 19.
Something responsible.
He
probably getting his master's.
He was on the other side of that see-through chalkboard you see in the movies, writing equations. The other side.
All right.
I will say this though, Rudy. Save your money. Do not spend it on stupid shit. I'm sure everybody tells you that. I'm sure you don't listen. Everybody told me that.
Transformers collector.
Everybody told me that. I didn't listen, but it is the right answer. Let's see.
Yeah.
So
and brush your teeth and floss. God damn it! You'll regret that if you don't.
Definitely brush your teeth.
Eat all your vegetables.
Definitely eat all your vegetables.
No, I'm dead serious. I didn't. I fucked around. I never had bad dental hygiene, but I didn't brush 3 times a day and all that shit. Man, next time I went to the dentist, I had all the cavities. I had a root canal. I had 2 root canals actually. Shit was not pleasant. It didn't hurt, but it was expensive.
Yeah, fucking floss, Rudy, floss, you dumbass.
Yeah,
don't listen to Bobby.
It says fucking $1,500.
Don't floss the girls.
Why shouldn't he listen to me?
You don't like flossing.
I don't like flossing, but I floss.
Do you use floss or do you use pics?
Do you flossy floss?
I use floss.
Oh, I buy a pack of $2 pics, the 100 pack.
Mm-hmm.
I keep them at my desk, and when I'm sitting there at work, fucking around the computer, I put a pic in my hand and I just
your butt.
Do you put 3 in each hand between the knuckles? Are you like snick?
I've definitely done that.
No, I put them. I just take a pic and I just fucking go through and floss, like just absentmindedly.
Bobby, something tells me you got more to that flossing thing. You don't use regular floss, do you?
No, I use regular floss. I'm not a floss expert. I just went to the dentist today, as a matter of fact. I've only had one cavity in my life.
Why did the pitch get higher?
Are you flossy?
No, not at all. I dress like shit. I floss. I'm not an avid flosser. I'm the guy that goes to the dentist and gets his teeth cleaned and doesn't have a cavity, but the dentist is always like, you could stand to floss a few more, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it, yeah.
Fuck you. You don't tell me what to do.
Well, I mean, sometimes I just feel like nothing's good enough for those fucking people. Like,
they're so needy.
Yeah. So it says, he says we can all say that we grew up watching. So I'm guessing we can all say that we grew up watching every Star Wars movie, the good, the bad, the ugly. But this week I watched the entire seasons of Rebels, and I was extremely impressed with this story, the characters, and the way it was left off. So how did y'all feel about it? And do y'all think they can fit into the movies, or leave it as a standalone movie? Keep up the great work, guys, and hail Hasbro. Theodore Salazar.
Thank you, Theodore, but
I haven't seen
Star Wars.
I haven't seen season 4. I've watched seasons 1 through 3. Season 2 is my favorite so far, with because of that Ahsoka episode.
Ahsoka.
I think it's good. I don't think it's as good as Clone Wars was. I think that there are. I think that it started off strong and then it got kind of formulaic, and I like Thrawn.
Good word.
I like Thrawn in it a lot, but even though Thrawn, it does kind of often seem like Thrawn is always like, no, let them get away. It's all part of the plan. And then later just gets ass kicked. Like, his plan is always to let them get away and then lose a battle later on. But I think it's overall a good show, or at least fine. I love the Ahsoka stuff, the Maul stuff. I haven't seen season 4. I know Maul dies in it, but I haven't seen season 4.
Spoilers.
Hey, Bobby, if Ahsoka was a squirter, would you call her a super Ahsoka?
Not your best.
I like the Ewok Christmas special. I think that's my favorite Star Wars.
That's not a thing.
Oh.
Ewok Christmas special.
I think it was a thing. I remember watching it as a kid.
Was it B. Arthur in that Star Wars Christmas?
There was a Star Wars Christmas special.
No, this was an Ewok.
No, and there were 2 Ewok standalone movies, Caravan of Courage and.
Bobby, I'm tired of you dictating my life. Okay, I know what I saw. It was a Ewok.
I know what I heard.
I don't know you. Get off my Ewoks.
Get off my Ewoks.
Stop dictating my life.
But I like Rebels. But I don't need any Rebels movies. I'm okay with the Ghost being in Rogue One and shit like that. That's enough for me. It's connective tissue. I don't need a Rebels movie per se. I would take an Ahsoka movie though.
This is an older question. It's been sitting there since the last time we posted for questions. I think a lot of elements from Rebels have made their way into movies, especially with Solo. Like certain threads that, that they weren't. Well, I really can't say anything without spoiling Solo, and I'm sure there's some people that still haven't seen it. But I do think
Isn't there a Porg Sith in it?
According to ticket sales, there's a lot of people that haven't gone out and seen it.
Oh,
much to my chagrin.
Chagrin.
Hey, you know what? Fine, I'll spoil.
What was that? Bobby's keying something up.
That wasn't me.
No, that was me. My bad.
No, I'm not going to say anything to possibly spoil it. We are, but yeah,
we are live.
Anyway, I thought Rebels was fine. I didn't finish it. I didn't finish Clone Wars, to be honest with you, because I was watching Clone Wars and then I jumped on Rebels because I wanted to try to get caught up for that Darth Maul thing. But I thought they were good. I don't know if we necessarily need a movie based on Rebels or Clone Wars because there's so much. Well, we got one on Clone Wars.
Damn, we got a lot of questions.
There was so much. Yeah. Whose fault's that? there's stuff there. And a Rebels trilogy. I think it's good that they've incorporated some elements.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, just add those little, you don't have to have a whole movie, but, little bits and pieces is fun.
And not how it happened, but Driving Voss and Thrawn both had the
shit kick out.
No, fuck, what's it? The Holy Grail in their office.
Yep, that's a fact.
Nice.
Matrix. And there's other reference, like there's the droids are in Raiders or whatever, like in the hieroglyphs and stuff. Like it is suggestive that it's all in universe, so to speak.
Did you see that? I meant to address it before the show, but we got started before I had a chance to. Did you see the Comic-Con exclusive?
Yeah, Doctor or whatever her name is in the droids.
Dr. Alfred. Yeah, see, I love that her in that last Darth Vader book, and I love the Dr. Alfred.
Yeah, she's a popular character. I haven't read anything with her in it, but I know that she's like a fan favorite character.
I love those droids, and I was actually honestly mad, like legitimately fucking pissed off for about half an hour that they were only releasing that as a SCCC, and then I realized it's 3 3/4 scale.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Clone Wars other than like it was like 2 episodes that like happened to every time I tried to watch it. I wasn't watching it on demand. It was always like the same 2, and I didn't get into it. I intend to though. But I have a general question about Star Wars that just always bothered me, and I hope to pick your brains.
Yeah,
see what you guys think. Why in the new movies are they the Resistance? Why isn't it the New Republic military? Because as far as I can see, there isn't one, which makes no sense.
Because the New Republic doesn't see the First Order as a threat, and the Resistance was formed against the New Republic, and it's not really against the New Republic, but not in line with the New Republic against the First Order. And the attack from Starkiller Base onto those 5 systems or whatever that you see from Maz's castle, like they get destroyed.
Yep.
The entire Rebel fleet was housed in that system.
Well, that's a stupid military decision.
Agreed. But, I mean, there was a lot of stupid military decisions being made, which is why the Resistance was formed.
Well, even before that, though, in the book, in one of the books, Princess Leia was about to get appointed
senator. What you call like the chancellor or whatever, like the president, right? Yeah. That's in Bloodline.
And then her someone ratted her out because they found out like after the fact that about her connection to Darth Vader.
And that's canon?
Yeah, and so she backed out. And then
snitches get ditches.
She saw shit was going fucking south, and so she started helped organize the Resistance, as opposed to the rebellion, and then
So why didn't they see the New Order as a threat? I mean, they look just like the Empire.
Yeah, but they were. Go ahead.
They were all out on the outer rim, like they weren't necessarily a threat at the time. They thought they were just scattered. But what they were really doing was building their forces.
Yeah, I mean, why didn't we see ISIS and Al-Qaeda and the Taliban as a threat?
Exactly.
So, I feel like the movie I wouldn't have minded another 15 minutes even of movie to just flesh that out.
Oh, I'm 100% in agreement with you. My biggest complaint with The Force Awakens is that it doesn't explain the world you're in.
Yeah. And it doesn't need to, other than setting that stuff up. Because otherwise it just sounds like, resistance is another word for rebellion, know?
And
here we go again.
The thing is that they were trying, I mean, they're like painfully trying in Force Awakens to give you that old original trilogy feeling back. And the original trilogy doesn't really explain the political climate. But in my opinion, the dynamic of Star Wars had changed by the time The Force Awakens came out. And after the prequels, like you kind of want to know what's going on politically.
Right.
And the fact that they ignored that, I think, is a huge oversight.
Well, I kind of have a theory on that too. Like as far as like maybe why they did approach things the way they did. I may cut out here for a second, so just bear with me. I'm getting some of the fridge, and we know my fridge interrupts.
Cringer's paws hovering over mute.
I think when they announced that so with the lack of a lot of Star Wars movies for so long, the expanding universe really took off, like the books, right? And people were super into the books. And then when they said that the new canon was going to ignore a lot of the books, and there was such a huge backlash, I think they kind of relied on books. They were like, oh, people read the books and they'll get the backstory because they like books so much. And I think that's probably why they didn't put so much in there, so people would go to that expanding fiction. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, and I can even co-sign that. But I think it's still, it's still a huge oversight for them not to understand that the general audience is not reading the books. If they just looked at the data of this was the last novel that came out before the buyout, and it sold, I don't know, 200,000 copies, let's say, and I have a feeling that's on the high end. And then the last movie sold, $300 million or whatever, like $800 million in ticket sales. Somebody should have been like, look, there's a wider audience that's not reading this shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, but we walked into episode 4. Well, just for period's sake, let's just call it Star Wars. We walked into Star Wars not knowing who the fuck the Empire was, and we walked into Phantom Menace not knowing who the fucking Trade Federation was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
100%. But by the end of Phantom Menace, they explained to you what the Trade Federation is, and I agree with you about Star Wars. I 100% agree with you, and that's the formula I think they were trying to follow. But my personal opinion is just that, what Star Wars has changed, and after the prequels, people want to know what's going on in the political side of things with it. They don't want to know for 45 minutes, but they want to know.
That's what the crawl is for, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even remember the crawl from Force Awakens. I don't remember the crawl from Star Wars.
Luke Skywalker has vanished. I know that's the first sentence.
Yeah, I just remember it's a time of war with someone else.
Yeah.
And the Galactic Empire and the rebellion, and
Leia's on a ship with plans for that's all said in there.
Yeah, and then it's it opens up and it's like, whoa, pew 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 pew.
Yep, good bit of that.
All I really remember from the opening Star Wars.
And also in Force Awakens, Robert, when those planets get destroyed, there's that one chick that walks out to the balcony that looks up and sees it coming. Do you know what I'm talking?
It's like,
yeah. So she was Leia's personal assistant, and she was tied into the political system. And there was a whole plot thread with that where that scene would have meant something to you.
Wow.
But they cut 50% of it and didn't shoot the other 50% of it. Wow. By the time they realized they were going to cut it. Okay, the next question is, what is your biggest pet peeve with roommates / people you live with? Could be minor or major. My wife always leaves dishes right next to the sink, but won't put them in there. I don't know why. Drives me nuts. Let's hear yours from Sam.
Oh, I can tell you why your wife does that, buddy.
From Sam Mead. Shout out to Sam Mead. I haven't heard from him in a long time.
Sam, I could tell Sam why his wife does that. He could just ask her. Because my wife does it too, and she explains. I assume it's a rationale. It's don't fill the sink with dirty dishes. My rationale is don't have any dirty dishes anywhere but in the sink. I'll wash them when it's time, but people like to leave them not in the sink because they want to. It doesn't make sense to me, but that's the rationale. So since I already started speaking, a pet peeve I have is touching my shit. If there's stuff, say there's stuff in the living room or there's stuff in the kitchen or whatever, I'll go look for my thing, and that's the one thing that's been moved to another location. And when my wife does it, she doesn't know where that thing is supposed to go. She just knew that it didn't belong where it was, So that thing will get moved. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of other things that could have been sorted out instead. That occurs on a daily basis. That frustrates. And also, I hate mumbling. I if you mumble while speaking to me, I get really agitated. I will raise my voice at you and tell you to fucking enunciate.
Whatever.
God damn.
My wife, and look, whatever pet peeve I have against my wife, I'm sure she has 10 more for every one that I have with her. But,
of course.
Oh, definitely.
But my biggest pet peeve is my wife leaves food out. Like,
oh yeah,
it drives me up the wall. Like she's like a big have fresh fruit on the table, have fresh vegetables along the windowsill, and all that kind of shit. And I'm like, you can't, leave the butter out for hours so that when we go to use it, it'll be nice and soft. And I'm like, you can't do that because it fucking attracts insects.
Ants.
So guess what we have in our house?
Ants.
You're goddamn right we do. And it's not for me. We leave food out all over the place, and my kids don't know how to use a goddamn plate, so we got crumbs all over the floor, and that's how that fucking ants come in. My kids, my biggest issue with my kids is like Robert hating mumbling. I hate having to repeat myself.
What?
I can't stand it. I say what I'm a big proponent of words mattering. Like, I say what I mean what I say, and when my
kids... Are you Popeye or something?
When my kids fucking, want to debate or negotiate or
pronunciate,
seem to not understand what I'm saying or act in a manner as if they didn't understand what I'm saying, I get very angry very quickly. That's mine.
Wait, really quick. Do you know if you see a trail of ants, there's a way to stop that trail. You literally take some dish soap and rub it along the trail, and they lose the scent, and they stop following the line.
I will keep that in mind.
And I learned that shit from Sim Ant on Nintendo. I can't believe it, but I learned it that way. We got a line of ants in my old apartment, and I tried it, and it fucking worked.
And I hate everything about my dog.
Were they the best ants in Brooklyn, though?
Sorry, Bobby. What was that?
I hate everything about my dog. I can't wait for life to move on. Yep.
Why could you say that?
I just, I've lost that love and feeling, buddy. I love him in a family way, but I have no connect. My heart is very cold to him.
Why? Because he hurt your back?
That didn't help, of course, but just he has a number of challenges, but
you've been summoned.
I am just not interested in having any more pets, I'll say.
And you need a guinea pig.
No, I definitely do not. No, I'll have no rodents in my home. I'm gonna when Smeagol dies, the kids and I and my wife are gonna do some traveling, see a little bit of the world, and then when the traveling is done and we settle back down, I'm sure the dog discussion will come back up. But at this point in my life, I am adamant about saying no.
Funny that you used that word, because I was just about to ask you. It seems like Adam doesn't like his new dog so much.
I'm sure. I don't know. I think that he wanted a replacement for Ace, and I think that this dog is not Ace.
Are you going to Brooklyn on your travels?
That's what I was thinking. He's like, yeah. Time to travel.
Because that's the best place in the world is Brooklyn.
Yeah, we'll definitely be going to New York City for sure.
Not to see me, to see a sister-in-law.
No, not to see either one of you.
Damn.
Gotta buy me dinner.
I don't have any pet.
We're gonna go to the most expensive dinner. You're gonna pull out the wallet. I'll be like, thank you.
I love my wife. I don't have any pet peeves with her.
Oh, you liar!
I can't think of any offhand. There's so many. I just
Does she nag you,
Matt? She's sitting right beside you.
No, she's out with a friend. She went. So her friend had a birthday this past weekend. She took her out to eat.
Damn, Derek had a birthday.
Yep. No, Big Schlong had a birthday. You know him.
Yeah, they're.
But I can't think of anything really pet peeve.
Does she have a pet peeve about you?
Oh, tons probably.
When he's always texting her while she's out with Derek.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? And she texts me dick pics all the time. I'm like, that's not mine. Stop texting me Derek's dick. God. God, what I got? I mean, her pet, probably one of mine is that I'm not really confident. I mean, I'm always kind of shy and I always, belittle myself, for being overweight and stuff and everything. She hates that. And so that's one of her. She likes me to be positive, and everything. So probably one of her pet peeves on me is that. So.
But another one of her pet peeves is your belittled dick.
Yeah, and a little blood. That's fine. That's fine. I've told y'all several times. You can go back to some of the episodes. I'm not hung like I'm. Whatever.
Ever since she met Derek, she hasn't seen the man so much.
Matt, the hardest way to lose is that area right around your dick. Like, I've lost weight and everything's getting smaller except for that.
I know.
God.
He's like, even my dick.
Yeah.
Matt's like, I lost 20 pounds.
I got a FOPA. I got fatty above my penis area. I got it. I ain't no shame in my game. I know I'm a big boy. I'm trying.
Good.
What about your pet peeves, Greg? Do you have your own kit?
I have.
Or she's sitting next to you.
Yeah, she's upstairs sleeping.
Okay.
He probably has more with me than I do with her. I think the only thing that she does that bugs me is she's on that sparkling water, and she tends to leave her cans everywhere.
Half empty or half full?
Full. No, I mean not full. I mean empty, but there's little clusters, which is fine. I'm sure I do much worse. I leave my toys everywhere like a fucking 5-year-old. Because I don't want my collection set up right now because I don't really have a setup for it. So I'm just kind of waiting to see the next few bots and figure it out. Maybe we're gonna move, but I still play with them, so I kind of leave them laying around.
Oh yeah, Lisa hates that. Lisa, I have my room, and that's where they stay. And if I leave them out there, on her kitchen table or the table in front of our TV, she'll let it go for maybe a day. But after that, she's like, them are not supposed to be out there, are they? I'm like,
take up your toys, man. Take them up.
No, ma'am, they're not supposed to be out there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't have. Actually, I'm actually running an experiment at the moment. I got that Mafex Boba Fett. I mean, you can go back and listen to the show. I think it was 3 weeks.
Oh, surprise, Bobby! You got a Mafex?
I think it was 3 weeks ago, and I've left the hands on the counter.
Really?
Yeah, by the coffee. It's 3 different swap out hands, and I left them all on the counter, and they're still there. I'm just seeing how long they'll go before she'll say something. It's just a personal.
What if she throws them out?
She won't. She wouldn't do that.
How long's it been? 3 weeks, you said?
Yeah.
PM.
That's pretty long.
I don't know. We had this discussion before, and you figured it out from the information I gave you. I can't remember what you said then either, but it's yeah.
I think pressure checks or was it good?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was pressure checks, or it was for.
Okay,
sorry.
gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just seeing it. They've been there. They've been pushed back. I can tell at some point they got on her nerves, and she was just clearing some space and pushed them back towards the back of the counter. But they're definitely still there, and I definitely haven't heard.
So she hasn't said anything to you about it at all?
Not a word. 3 weeks and counting.
But she has moved them, so she knows they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's 3 weeks. That's about how long it takes for divorce papers to.
So how long do you think?
If I got divorced over some Boba Fett hands, that would be trash.
Yeah. So do you think she's going to ever say anything, or is she just going to let it slide?
I think my prediction is at a certain point she'll put them in a plastic bag and put the bag on the first step down to the basement.
And then you step on it.
Are you going to tell her your experiment?
No. But if she does, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up the plastic bag and I'm going to put them back on the counter.
Then the divorce papers come.
I'm going to tell her to leave an open tray of butter on your pool table.
Damn, it's fucked up. A trail of ants.
All right, so I have 4 more roommates. One of which is kind of a bitch. She pokes me in the hand and pees on me. So I'm not really fond of that. I do have one that's super friendly, but sometimes every once in a while she has snacks on the carpet and I have to clean it up. I'm not fond of that. I have one that likes to knock my shit off the fucking counters.
And hit mute.
That. and hit mute. Yeah, exactly. And walk over to my fucking keyboard, and I find my microphone stand on the floor.
She does a podcast. He does a podcast.
And then I have one that just thinks I'm a total piece of shit. And if I'm not scratching her head, then fuck me. And if I try to pick her up or move her, she screams rape.
Bobby, he's talking about his pets.
Yeah, those are my pets.
Oh, thanks for explaining it to me.
You got it.
Please explain that to me.
It was my hedgehog. In order, it was my hedgehog, my chihuahua, my boy cat, and cat, who is Torty, much like Lenny's. Except
Shut up, Lenny, man.
She thinks I'm a total piece of shit, and I'm pretty sure she's convinced that I'm the guy that molested her family when she was a child, because she acts like I'm a fucking sex offender. If I even try to touch her, she goes, she does not like me.
That went to a weird place.
It's a joke we've had. But yeah, she does not like me. She loves Kit to death.
Well, who doesn't, though?
She does not like me at all. She thinks I murdered her father or something.
Yeah, Smeagol's Laura's dog as well. Like,
you just need to say, "No, I am your father."
All right. Moving along. Are we done?
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up at this point.
It's kind of awkward right now. Just gonna put that out there. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for listening. We really appreciate it. We'll be coming at you next week with another episode of Shatteredcast Uncut.
Hey, can I chime in with one thing? I'm sorry.
Fuck yeah, you can. No,
look,
you can
there's somebody out there that hit me up, and he is looking for a Unique Toys Legend set. So if you're looking to sell a Unique Toys Legend set and you need someone for it to go to, I know someone that is definitely in need of one. To be straight up about it, he is looking for the Chrome Dome and Weird Wolf. So if you
that was sold out everywhere too.
Yeah, so he is looking for one. If you're looking to get rid of one, get in touch with me or Shadowcast somehow, and I will coordinate that to happen. Put some ducats in your pocket and put some toys in his palm.
He can give you a partial payment in 2 weeks. He asks that you put it on hold.
No. He's got no. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't do that. if I speak for somebody, it's not somebody that's not going to have the money. It's not that situation.
Go sub to YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, and yeah. All right.
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Oh yeah. By the way, did you see the sequel to How to Train Your Dragon, the third one? And then, have you watched those movies, guys?
No, yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon, Bob. You didn't see that?
I saw the first one.
Well, the third one's coming out, and Toothless, they apparently finds a mate. They finally find another Night Fury, because there are no others, apparently. And it's like a white dragon, and it's a girl. And I saw on Facebook somewhere, there's like the fucking, I don't know what you call it, community now. The don't assume my gender community is up in arms because they had to heteroify How to Train Your Dragon.
I see.
Where it is. People are upset.
And that's the honest tooth.
Shardouts to Courthouse Network, ROC, anti-around, by Detox, plastic fanatics, spirit vultures, nerve rage radio, and wigs.
And my personal favorite, the well-established gentleman's show, Stasis Lock.
At Real Robot, at Fear Corpse.
I am Ratchet.
Third-party TF Crashers, and Open Your Toys podcast.
This podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Its sole purpose is to entertain. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it down.
Shut the fuck